Hey guys, how's it going? This is Natenator. For the most part, my life was simple. Up until about a week ago. I began to hear voices and decided to act upon them. They continued to pressure me to kill my closest friend, because they told me that he was an alien. I ignored them up until last night. We were at a pool party, and he was making some jokes about me that I disapproved of, and I had had enough of my mistreatment. Even my closest friends treated me like trash, so I decided to flip the tables on them. Last night, I carried in a large pocket knife to the party, so when the moment was right, I could expose my friend for who he really was. I started the event off by bringing up the topic in a discussion with my friends. Hey, who here believes in aliens? I received mixed responses. Some believed, others didn't, and my closest friend shoved me in the back and told me, "Rob, you dumbass, nothing like that exists." One of my other friends, Emily, tried to defend me. "Come on, Kyle, ease up on Rob. It's alright if he wants to ask a little question." Kyle responded smugly, "Not when it involves interrupting my story." This is the moment that I snapped. Oh really, Kyle? Then why do you open up so easily, you alien?" It was at this moment that I pulled out my knife and slashed Kyle's neck open. The voices in my head rejoiced. They began giving me commands. Remove his head. Remove his head from his shoulders now. Show them all how he's an alien. Before Kyle could provide a response, I began to sever his head from his body. All the while, everyone at the party was screaming and running away. Within a few seconds, I had completely severed the head of Kyle and held it up proudly in front of me. The voices spoke again. "Good. Now you can devour his heart and obtain his deepest desires and emotions. From within his heart lies his power. After which, you will devour his eyes and gain access to the windows that lie to his soul. You will consume his eyes to shut off the windows that his soul may escape from." I complied. "I will do as you ask of me." I began to carve out the heart of Kyle and severed the arteries that kept it bound within his body. I took a large bite of his heart. It tasted bitter, but it made me feel powerful. I continued to consume the heart until there was nothing left. "Excellent. Now consume the eyes." I did as they told. I tore both eyes out of their sockets with my bare hands and placed them both in my mouth like the plumpest tomatoes and squished their warm juices in my mouth. They were bitter, like the heart, but had a hint of salt that made them taste better than the heart. It was then that I heard the police sirens and began to hear the police gathering on the front porch of the house. I wanted to run, but the voices stopped me. No, you cannot escape their clutches, not until the plan is complete. They were very mysterious about their plans, but I did feel and enjoy the power that it gave me from eating the alien I used to call Kyle. I complied once my nerves had calmed. I sat down and placed the knife in my lap. I raised my hands to the night sky above. I will do as you command, my masters. The police arrived and apprehended me with what they referred to as a compliant arrest. They drove me to the police station and placed me in a cell. The voices continued to speak to me, further illustrating their full plan of bringing down these feeble humans. They told me that I was immortal until proven otherwise. I'm still not sure what they meant by that, but I will comply with them as they wish. I waited in silence as the voices continued to reveal to me the truths of this world. I continued to listen to them until the day the officers forced me out of my cell and took me into what appeared to be a courtroom. I heard the voice of a judge and sat up straight to hear him. Now, Mr. Rob Silverstein, you are being placed on trial for the murder and desecration of Kyle Dennings. Before we begin, do you promise to speak and tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? The voices told me to comply with them. I do, Your Honor. Very well. From here, the trial began and several representatives came forward to question me on what happened that night and why I did what I did. The voices told me to tell them the truth and to explain the part of their plan that involved the death of Kyle. I began to explain to them the reason why I did so. I told them about the voices and how they commanded me to kill Kyle because he was a traitorous alien that wanted to kill me, and that the only way to assure his true death and surrender to me was to kill him and to consume his heart and eyes. I left the questioners in shock and in fear. The family asked me why I did this, and what kind of monster I was. I explained to them simply why I did what I did. I killed Kyle because he was not my friend. He was an alien who wanted to kill me. And now that I have killed him, I am a stronger human than the rest of you. The New World Order is coming, and you will all either become a new part of it or die off. The voices commended my responses as I sat in silence while the court came to a verdict. The decision was guilty on the count of manslaughter, but they said it with the stipulation of having done so because of insanity. I had to object to their statement. I object, Your Honor. The judge and everyone else in the courtroom were in shock. Even my lawyer was in shock to the point that she couldn't stop me from saying my objection. The judge became curious. I would like to hear your objection, Mr. Silverstein. Please continue. I saved everyone here from a terrible fate I killed what you believed to be Kyle because he wasn't Kyle, and he wanted to kill the rest of you." The judge slammed his gavel to silence me and the rest of the courtroom. "Silence in the courtroom. The judgment as it stands will be 10 years in a high-security mental institution for reform and evaluation." The voices told me to comply with the officers, and I walked calmly out of the courtroom with them. The voices drowned out the objections from Kyle's family and friends. The officers immediately placed me in a truck and drove me straight to the institution. They placed me in a room and locked me in. I've been here for a week now, and I have occasional visits by my psychiatrist. He often becomes frustrated because he believes that he's not making any progress. I don't understand what he expects of me. The voices are here to protect me from all things, and they plan to make me ruler of this world. One step at a time. I see Kyle, or at least Kyle's spirit, as he is now trapped with me. We play games sometimes, usually board games, since the doctors believe that I'm not sane enough to play games with the other patients. I'm writing this now because I am now scheduled to be placed into a sensory deprivation room in hopes of eliminating the voices from my head. The voices said for me to comply. The time spent with them will make me stronger. I feel confident about tomorrow. I'll not be alone. The voices will have more time to guide me, and I'll have more time to talk to Kyle. The voices are all I have now, and I have no plans of letting go.